Hello and welcome, everybody. This is Awareness Games. My name is Nitya, and I share something inspiring, at least for me. And I also talk about one of my favorite board games pretty much every day of the week, unless I'm lazy. so I'd like to talk about agenda-lessness. And this is something I discovered first by discovering the power of intention. I discovered how when I make an intention, it tends to happen. When I get clear about what I want, it tends to happen. So then I began wondering, whatever intention I make for pretty much anything I do, it tends to happen. But do I really know what's best? What would happen if I even surrendered my intention? And I began to realize it took my work to the next level. So, first having an agenda and then releasing the agenda, or even having an intention and holding it lightly, not tightly. This was really powerful for me. So, since then, I've begun this practice of just emptying myself. There's a lovely quote by Rumi: be like melting snow. Wash yourself off yourself. And I think this is at some level, once you've played the game of empowerment, where you can have a goal and achieve it, have a goal and achieve it, have a goal and achieve it. At some point, you realize that that's possible, but then you kind of want to open yourself further to the mystery and let thy will be done, right? So it's nice to have that capacity to be a conscious co-creator as well as be completely in a state of just willing to go with whatever wants to come and trusting that there's nothing out of place. So I really enjoyed this teaching, this learning, I would say, of agenda-lessness, holding our agendas, our intentions lightly, not tightly, and in every situation. If you think about it, in most cases, there is some kind of an agenda that is motivating us to do something. At the very least, become aware of it, right? And then hold it lightly, not tightly. It's really quite magical. And there is less likelihood of you getting triggered, your ego getting triggered when you come from an agenda-less place. The moment you come from an agenda-filled place, then you're trying to pull and pull, and there's some power struggle happening. There's some unconscious, subtle, energetic stuff happening where you want to get more power, you want to make things happen your way. But you become really transparent when you become agenda-less. So that's the teaching. Just experiment with holding the agenda lightly. And maybe even becoming completely agendaless. Empty yourself. Bas ek kaam karo, khud ko khali karo. Empty yourself of yourself. What happens then? In my experience, anything you do becomes that much more powerful, that much more beautiful, that much more blessed, becomes a blessing. And it goes far beyond what you could have imagined can happen. It's like you're becoming a transparent vessel, and life uses you in the best way. In a way, that's how most of nature operates, the birds, the bees, the clouds, the trees. I think they're just doing what they're doing. They don't have a strong agenda behind it. That if I do this, I'll get that. Right. And there's a lovely quote: nature never hurries, yet everything gets done. And humans are constantly hurrying. And we always, our to do list, I don't think a single day our to do list is fully complete. There's always more to be done. All right. So that's the inspiring teaching for today. And then I want to talk about a game that I've loved for many years. It's called Codenames. The original game was just Codenames. Pictures came later on. That's also a fantastic game. This is Codenames Pictures. And in Codenames, typically you play with 4 to 8 players. There are also versions where you can play with less, but the most typical would be 4 to 8. And this is such a great game because each round just takes 15 to 20 minutes. And I have almost never played this game only once. Once a group learns this game, they want to play it again and again and again. And minimum of 2 or 3 times, if not more, people play this game. So basically in this game, there are 2 spy masters and there are cards put on the table. It's a grid of either 25 or in some cases 20. In this game, I think it's 20, but normally it's 25 cards. And each card represents a person. And only the 2 code masters, spy masters, know which card belongs to which team. And they have to use a single word to connect as many of the cards as possible. In the original code names, the cards have words on them, they're like code names. But in this set, they have pictures on them. So Yeah, you got to play it. You got to look it up. It's actually quite. This game is one of the more easily available games of the games I've been showing you. It should be available on most platforms, and I recommend you get it from my partner in this series. We are giving away games, so get it from Board Game Company. It's quite easily available wherever you are, and it's one of those games that went from being a hobby game to being hobby game. Is this, people who are really into board games? It's like there's a whole world of board games that most people have never heard about, and my agenda in these videos is to introduce you to a whole new world that some of you may be unaware of. So Codenames is a fantastic game for families, and it's a very clever game. It really gets you to think quite deeply, and it's a semi-cooperative game because you're playing. There are two teams, but your team is playing against the other team, and it creates lovely memories. Sometimes in Codenames, things will happen that you'll remember for years to come. So it's one of those fun games, easy to learn, easy to play, and not that expensive to get either. So check out Codenames. I would recommend both Codenames and Codenames Pictures are both good. Some people prefer. I used to like Codenames. These are, I think I like Pictures a little bit more, but both of them are great. And since then, they've come out with many other versions. There's the Codenames Harry Potter. There's the Codenames Duet, which is for two players. So, but get the original or get the one with pictures. I would recommend to start with. That's the game recommendation for today and the inspiring teaching for today. If you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Nitishanti, and the Board Game Company's YouTube channel, you'll become eligible for a giveaway every week. I just gave away yesterday a game as well as a voucher. And every week we're going to give away a game and a voucher. Once a month, we'll give away a big game. So be in touch, post some comments on YouTube and Facebook, and the Board Game Company will select 2 lucky winners every week. Have a lovely day, evening, wherever you are. Be well. Enjoy Agenda-Lessness. And if you have an agenda, keep it secret. Then you can be a good spy in the game of Codenames. All right. Be well.